This is a magical universe. Magical universe. So many things moving, grasping for our attention. These objects, all of this body, all this happening. Not just this, then so many thoughts, emotion, so much sensation. Then all kinds of variants of emotion mixed with thought, guilt and regret. So much of this activity is going on. And we have been playing like this, as if we are also an object in this realm of objects. It's a great power that enables that which is not a object to play as if it is one. It's a great power. It is your own power. This kind of magic only the divine can do. This divine Leela, to say something is mine itself is a great power. The power to play as an object in this world of objects. All different, how many different types and varieties of energies we have experienced. All from that ultimate nothingness, emptiness. We have to, just for some time, enjoy the magnificence of this. What is going on? What is it that we are saying fundamentally? Firstly, that you are not a thing. That itself is enormous, you see. It's enormous. And then that which is not a thing can have the sense that it exists in some way. How can it come about like this? That which is no thing then can have the sense that it exists. But even that much play is not enough just to say being, I'm just being. I exist. Also has to say, I exist as if I am something in this play, so that this play can seem so juicy and alive to us. I am this bundle of energies in this play. Not had enough. This is deep divine hypnosis. So I exist, then I exist as something, and then there is so much other than me. Now, not only is there the sense that I am something, but also there is another, there is so many others, there's all of this. None of this is ultimately your reality. And yet it is very compelling. You are a supreme video game designer. It's like one of those movies, isn't it? Where the programmer itself gets caught in the program that he has written. So you're one game designer, which is par excellence. This compelling game we have created, and all this magic is happening. First, that I am something. First, that I exist in the sense of existence itself. Then, that I exist as something. And then also this idea that there are other things that exist beside me. And all this play of enjoyment and suffering, all of this play happens on the basis of these ideas. If you don't have the sense that I am something, suffering is not possible. Look at all of our suffering. Such is the magnificence of this play. That no thing, the self, the absolute, then plays as if it exists in this way, and then plays as if it exists as if this mere bucket of energy, bucket of flesh and blood, and then says all that is appearing in front of me is not me. This separation never really happened. It is one. Even now, it doesn't need any spiritual practice to see this. We have done a lot of practice to separate, to believe the separation by believing our thoughts, believing our ideas. So every thought is premised on the concept of me. Me, 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 me. And I'm starting to realize that the spiritual me is as bad, if not worse. It's so special, it's so arrogant, so caught up in this so-called journey to freedom. Very, very selfish also at times. Very, very. Me, 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 me. So it is not as if there is some specialness in spirituality. It's very, very selfish. Mostly. Shouldn't generalize so broadly. This me who never took birth. And even till the end, we avoid looking at, is there really a me? Why? Because then game over. Somebody saying, I put 3 coins in the game machine to play this game. And somebody comes and says, no, no, leave it. No, but I've put 3 coins in here. I want to see where it goes. How does it end? That supreme bliss. The happy ending. Live forever. What is it? Happily ever after. We feel like we can get to this. But the only ones who have got to this is the ones who have taken their hands off the game. And then you'll be surprised to see that the game goes on. It still appears. Left and right, the movements will happen, but you took the hands off the joystick. Still is moving. You see? But it seems to become a lot more fun then. All the stress of what to do, where to go, am I getting there or not, am I playing this right? All our unworthiness, all our specialness, all gone. So it's a very simple point. These words are being spoken on their own. It would be foolish to presume that there is one Ananta who is sitting there, who is then conceptualizing these words and speaking them. They are just arising. And it is true for all words which were ever spoken by anyone. All actions are happening on their own. There has been never this me and another, just like our thoughts are appearing. Most of humanity is even feeling guilty about their thoughts. But how? Who knows how to create a thought? Nobody. What is the raw material for thought? Nobody knows. Not only that, guilty for your thoughts and resentful about another's thoughts. How can you think this about me? As if one is creating the thoughts that are coming. Why did you think this? So not just action, but also So how could you think this about me? Most of the trouble in relationships is like that. Oh, so this is what you really think. The thoughts are coming, no? They are appearing. They're appearing and they're disappearing. Speech is appearing and it is disappearing. Happened to us where words come and say, oh, okay, I don't know where that came from. It happens. Isn't it? And then same way with action. So this sense of doership is the critical feature of this game called Maya or Leela. It can feel like there is not only somebody sitting inside this body, but that somebody is also then doing, is thinking, speaking, doing. So that no thing, which is not the negative nothing. The mind's one trick is to say, okay, don't say I'm nothing. Okay, tell me anything, but just don't say I'm nothing, because all of this is about trying to become something. But there's no thing the mind cannot fathom. It is a very full, not even full, but we have to use terminology. It is a very full no thing. It is that from which this entire manifest creation appears and disappears back into. So then this no thing, because it wanted to play as something, has created this entire game in this way. First, to have the sense that I exist. I exist. I am. Then I am something. I am the body, I am the mind, I am this person. Then not just that I am something, then everything around me must also be things. And now that I've bought into this idea of separation, of duality, therefore now this bundle should operate in a certain way according to how I decide. And those are those are operating basis on the basis of what they are deciding. It's pure myth. There is no me like this and no you like that. There is only one, the self. And because this doership is so strongly ingrained, many times if you're just hearing this, you will be wondering, so, but if I just drop, then how do I know my life will not be a mess? And that arrogance of that question starts to strike you. Because as if you've done such a good job of it so far. It's been so good that if I just leave it to God, then it might become a mess. There is no individual doer, no individual thinker. There is no individual speaker. Every expression is being played in its own as an expression of consciousness itself. But once we bought into this idea of duality, then, so what have we looked at so far now? We looked at doership and duality, isn't it? But the basis of a lot of the trouble is once we buy into the idea that I am just this, we restrict ourselves to this idea, then we also start catering to this idea in so many ways. If I'm just this body, or the person who owns this body, then what could I want? Then you say, okay, I might need so much money in the future. I might need a good partner. I might need this kind of security, that kind of security. So we're just representing this non-existent one, the owner of this body or this body itself. The body, poor thing, sitting innocently, not saying, I want this, what's happening to my money which has been demonetized. It is not asking any of that. It is just sitting. And yet, there is this lawyer for the body saying, this is what I must have, this is what I must have. Okay? So, like the cat's looking for the next bowl of milk, from bowls of milk to other bowls of milk, till somebody comes and tells us, no, no, none of this, it's all useless. And we start finding that for ourselves, and we say, the final, ultimate nectar of Amrit, the bowl of milk of enlightenment, of freedom. So then we start looking for that one. But still, what is it for? It is for me. So when you come to a place where it's saying, but there is, who are you really first? Before I decide to give you what, the next bowl of milk, let me first see if you are clear. Okay, what type of cat are you? You start looking for the cat. This is uncomfortable. I don't like it. Just give me what I am here for, no? Why can't you just do that? That's why many great sages have also said, I give them what they want so that one day they can want what I want to give them. I have not seen it. I have not seen it functioning like that because I have only seen that desire seems to multiply more and more. So the 3D system, no? Doership, duality, desire, the basis for all of our suffering. It would be very worthwhile if all of this then led to something which was useful. And we say, okay, I worked so hard to pretend as if I'm separate. I worked so hard to define, okay, these things I want, you see, these are my desires. And I worked so hard to constantly separate myself from another, separate myself from the rest of this existence. At least enjoy it. This is the funny part of this game. That it is played as if it is a game of suffering. It's momentary insights into moments of truth. We create this life, then we want to escape it and go to the mountains and sit in the farm. Yeah. You want to escape, you want to go to nature. Why? Because we shut off this mind for some time. But what is the mind speaking about? Just these things. The Maha Mantra of the mind is what's in it for me. Me, me, me. That's why yesterday also I was telling someone, step out of this me. Because it's the big untruth, big made up mythical idea. The cat which does not exist. Is this me? And see that everything moves on its own. It is not possible for the waking state to be not to be in some form of action. Even in our sitting still is an action. Heart is beating, breath is flowing. Sitting still means we are still sitting still. You can have meditators who meditate for tens of hours every day, but full to the brim with doership. I'm doing. I'm meditating. I'm meditating. I'm meditating. So this doership is more and more reinforced. So maybe the second last satsang today, I just want to say, let go. Just let go. Let go of what? Of belief that these are my actions, these are my words, these are my thoughts. And in the play, you will find that it's a beautiful, like, some of these great Easter eggs which have been designed in them. So you get this superb Easter egg where everything just seems to flow on its own, everything is happening on its own. You're watching this as one play, one movie, including the movement of this character. Just forget about it. And what is the easiest way? It is to see that in this moment already all is forgotten. In this moment, all is gone. Till we refer back to our thoughts and say, okay, is it really gone? And the mind will say, no, no, I'm still a person. But now again gone. Just this now, here and now, is what is being pointed at. What are you right now without referring to the report from the mind? See that you are one, even one does not apply. All the sages have pointed to this. Shankaracharya said, dispose of this mind and be free. Ashtavakra said, the mind is complex, let it go. Same.